Hey, what's up, guys? And before this video starts, I just want to take the time to let you know that nothing really happens for like half of this episode. The reason why I'm saying this and not just letting you discover it by yourself is because for about half the episode, maybe even more than that, um, Amane is pretty much just talking about planes and talking about how they work. So, unless you're interested in that, I would suggest skipping to this time. That's on the screen right now. If you do want to hear about that, just watch the whole thing. But if you don't, you can skip to that time without really missing that much of the plot. You just know that she knows about a lot about planes. That's basically it. Spoilers. Anyway, thanks. Click to that location on the time thing if you want to do it. If you don't, then blah blah blah. Thanks and enjoy the video. When air hits the wings from the front, the airflow divides, going over and under the wings. I could just imagine the wings cutting the air like a blade. At that time, there is a difference in the speed of the airflow above and below the wing, and the pressure drops on the side that has the faster airflow. That's Bernoulli Amane nods. Standing beside her, I am a little freaked out as she easily comes out with the word Bernoulli. The hell is that? We were taught that in class, right? We didn't learn that at my school. Maybe. That's why the airplane's wings are designed so the air flows faster on the upper side. This is in order to lower the pressure on the upper side. By doing this, the pressure on the lower side is higher in comparison, and then the air lifts the wings up. The air lifts the wings up. The air lifts the wings up. It's a phenomenon that's hard to suddenly imagine. So there's Bernoulli theorem. I know deserve to say yes. There's one more thing. The air flowing over the top of the wing bends downwards because of the wing surface, causing downforce behind it. Oh my god, can this lecture please end? As she explains, Amane is drawing a cross-section of the wing. According to that, an airplane's wings are flat at the bottom and the top is shaped like a mountain. So it seems like it is semicircular. Apparently, the air on the upper side flows along the raised curved surface and then bends to flow downwards. As for the question of why the air flows along the raised surface, it can only be said that this because of the nature of air. Or so it would seem! This is downforce, according to Newton's third law, causes the same reaction on the wing, which lifts it up in a direction. The reaction lifts up the wing? When a heavy basketball hits the ground, doesn't it seem like it's floating weightlessly? I need to go do something for dinner. Okay, let's continue this bloody lecture. It's the same as that! Does that mean that when the wing drops in the air, the reaction causes it to float? So when the lift exceeds the weight of the airplane can fly through the air. For example, it's the same for a jumbo passenger airliner with a total weight of several hundred tons. Theoretically, that may be so, but I still couldn't imagine how enough lift to cause a several hundred-ton airplane could take off be created. How airplanes do actually fly in the sky. The main wings that create the lift are the parts necessarily to make the airplane fly in the sky. I don't know if I understand or not. Have I understood that the main wings are the most important part? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, come on, please! This game is really good, but it's just a lecture! Oh! How many parts were there? Like 4? There were like 4 or 5 parts that she described, and oh my god, it's gonna take so long. This is literally gonna take an hour. I'm gonna try to get through this, but come on. Next to the tokens, which are the 2 horizontal baraga. These are added to stabilize the position of the airplane when in midair. And an airplane floats in midair, which is much more unstable than we humans are when standing on the ground. The ones going straight up is the vertical tailplane. This stabilizes lateral movement. The ones extending out sideways is the same as the main wings, are the horizontal tailplanes. These move vertically, in other words, stabilizing the up and down movement of the nose. Without this, even a paper airplane won't fly straight. I see, so that's why they have small wings on the tail. Then there's the body. Okay, so it's not that bad. Then there's the body. This doesn't have a direct relationship for flight, but if you don't have this, there's nowhere to attach the wings. And that is the basic form of an airplane. That hasn't changed since a long time ago, since the era of the Wright brothers. Since that long ago? But the Wright brothers were the first people in the world to fly a plane, right? So I don't think it's changed since the very first one was made. The Wright brothers were the first to fly using powered flight. Gliders were being flown even before that. Yeah, I guess so. I always thought that the Wright brothers were the first to fly. Even if you know the roll of the wings, you should try it on this paper airplane. For example, if you were to bend the vertical tailplane a little like this. Whoosh. The plane that Amane threw curved gently as it flew. Also, if you curve this part of the main wings a little, she bent the left and right main wings so that they would twist at the back. Look at it go. This time the plane twisted as it flew. Hey, that's pretty interesting. Seeing this, Katori started to adjust the tailplane on her own paper airplane. Watch this! Full of confidence, Katori threw her paper airplane. Whoa! Ah! It did a beautiful loop-de-loop before landing. That's cool, it did a loop-de-loop. This airplane is really interesting! Katori and I both got really engrossed in adjusting the wings and playing around. Sometimes the paper airplanes displayed some mid-air acrobatics, and other times they didn't fly at all and crashed onto the ground. However, by trying it for ourselves, we were able to get a real understanding for the roll of the wings. By just adjusting the shape of the wings a little, you can make them fly in many different ways. Actual airplanes have many smaller wings, such as ailerons. The aircraft is controlled by adjusting them. As she explained, Amane moved to the side of the garage. Then she lovingly laid her hands on the glider. This glider doesn't have an engine. She's like, shut up, anyone. It is a little bigger and more robust paper airplane. The only thing that has been added is the cockpit. Katori and I looked at the paper airplanes in our hands. I imagine riding it, and flying through the sky. This is just like the fantasies I envisioned as a kid. The glider in front of me was a real thing. How about it? You just felt like you could make one, didn't you? But it doesn't have an engine. How does it fly? Paper airplanes gain thrust by being thrown by people. By riding the wind. Both I and Katori gazed at the white aircraft. That day we saw this, flying from the windmill hill, riding the wind. That expression expresses it so perfectly, the way it flew so smoothly and calmly. Riding the wind! Marty nods happily. Then by riding using air currents, you can fly anywhere. Anywhere? Yes. You can even go above the clouds. Above the clouds! Katori looked at the aircraft with an expression of disbelief. I also couldn't imagine this thing flying above the clouds. Have you been there? Above the clouds? Well, that's, Suddenly her mood drops. I only put it together recently and finally took it out on a test flight. Okay, how was that time? Ah! Katori and I reacted by exchanging glances. The wings have been strong enough and snapped halfway through. Huh? Oh. So you mean... Yeah, it was pretty dangerous. If they had broken completely, I might have fallen to my death in the lake. Ha 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 ha, she laughed as she spoke. I have to rebuild them. It's because I'm not so good with my hands. Also, I know some of these instruments are broken, but I'm having trouble getting my hands on the parts. Why don't you make them yourself? Katori said that so easily. At a school where things like this are taught, they have all the equipment you need to make anything, from a screw to an aircraft. That's no good either. Amane, with a troubled look on her face, took some of the broken parts from a drawer. The diaphragm is one of the parts used to make the airspeed controller. This was one special order that the factory where this was made shut down a long time ago. Katori and I gazed at the parts of the plane that by hand. It certainly looks like it wouldn't be easy to make. If it's the kind of thing that can be made in a town factory, there might be something that can be done about it. Mane's eyes light up as I quietly mumble. Really? Oh, well, I don't know until I ask, but I know someone like that. Please, if I don't have this, I'll be in a real fix. Okay, I'll try asking them next time I see him. Can I borrow this? Thank you, this will be the third time you've saved me. Whoosh. Whoa! Suddenly she gives me a full-on hug, and we're even cheek to cheek. Aww. Thank you! You can thank me once I've actually got it. Oh yes, I guess you're right, but this includes thanks for lunch. So let me express my thanks one more time. That's enough, seriously. Really? Who declines hugs? Come on. Katori was suddenly glaring at me. I wonder if this will really fly. Katori and I both gazed at the glider with the same look on our faces. By the way, you two... If you're interested in gliders, The bell rings, interrupting Amane. Amane flinches in surprise and quietly turns her back to us. If we're interested... What is it? No, it's nothing, forget about it! Somehow it seems she's avoiding something. Amane? What? Can I come and see you again? Yeah, of course, if you're interested, come anytime. I have to bring her those parts as well. You too. Come again. Sure. As Katori nods, Amane grins as she nods back. She's really beautiful, but her smile somehow makes her look like a little kid. Oh. Alright, shall we go back to the classroom? Huh? I started pushing Katori's wheelchair and decided to start walking. Hey, where are you taking me? The classroom, of course. Oh, that face. No, stop, I'm hungry and I haven't had lunch yet. You reap what you sow. Hey, stop! I said stop, hey, don't push me! I brought Katori with me against her wishes and we returned to the classroom. Now's a good time to save. Or not. Aoi! Okay, so someone just got out to us. I'm saving now. Thank you. Nope. Alright, time to stop. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon. I really enjoyed this. This is a really great visual novel on the levels of Katawa Sojo. Thanks, guys!